Okay,
All right, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Algonquin Township Board meeting for September 12th, 2018. Let's call the regular meeting to order. We had a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I sometimes have dreams that I will not remember that much. Sitting here, so all those years. Roll call, please.
Victor,
Yes.
Letzo,
Here.
Shay,
Here.
Lawrence.
Here.
Chapman is absent.
Dave Chapman called me and asked to have an excused absence, so we'd like to make it as an excused absence. Okay. All right. We have roll call done. We have a quorum, monthly approval of monthly minutes for August 8th, 2018. We have a motion.
I make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Oh, there might be
Oh,
some lines of.
any discussion? I'm sorry.
I just wanted to express, again, my disapproval with the usage of, there was public comment. I think it's disrespectful to those people who take the time out of their busy days to come here and make public comment, and then have no record reflect that in the minutes. That's all.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Special meeting minutes for August 28th, 2018. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
I will second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, the special meeting did not mention the actual amending of any mention of the discussion of the amendments that were going to be made, the wording that Attorney Kelly suggested be added, etc. I just thought that was very relevant and should be, there's no mention of it in the minutes.
The only thing that was mentioned was, motion carried. Letzo comments that paragraph 4 after Exhibit B will specify lease property marked in yellow. That's exactly what happened after you voted. And that's what Kelly's comments were. So.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. We have, like to see if we can get a motion to, motion to audit the, town fund for $106,006.04. Making a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, no discussion, again, I believe in a roll call vote.
Victor,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Letzo.
Yes. Motion passes, and I'm gonna bring this around for signature as well.
Yep.
Okay, general assistance, I'd like to see if we can get a motion to audit the funds of the general assistance fund for $13,072.53.
I make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Victor,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Letzo.
Yes. Okay. Just two more. All right. And we're gonna go with the Road and Bridge Fund. Can I get a motion to audit the Road and Bridge Fund for $143,022.13?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
Yes. I would like to separate, there's actually a couple of different things which I first need to clarify. Initially in the documents that all the bills that we were provided electronically as is the norm, to audit on, which we received on, when I say we, I mean the board, to audit, we received on Monday. And initially, one of the bills that I would like to make a motion to divide and consider, discuss, and vote on separately is the Algonquin, the bill. It says memorandum for record from Andrew Gosser. It's a request for reimbursement dated 29 August 2018 regarding Andre Horoff trip report. I have spoken to Andrew Gosser about this. He states that he's requesting the following be reimbursed. Travel to airport, and I'm just abbreviating because rather than going into detail. Round trip airfare, per diem for food, a different day per diem for food the third day, lodging for 2 nights in a rental car, and then in addition 2 other charges. But in actually auditing the rest of that fund, I was able to see that on the township credit card are already charged several of these items which he's requesting reimbursement for, if that makes sense. So in other words, he's requesting reimbursement, but the township or the road district credit card had already paid for it. And so he's not entitled to reimbursement or to request reimbursement. So I did contact him to see if this was an error. He did admit that it was an error, and I believe he sent out, did anyone else receive an email of the amended? Okay. So as long as we can confirm in the bills, Karen, are they here so that we can confirm it?
I don't handle the
Yeah, they are
bills.
here.
That would be Chuck still.
As long as we can confirm that and then correct the warrant amount.
I need that email. Can you forward that to me? Because I did not receive that as the clerk.
Yes.
Thank you. And if we are you making a motion? Because we already have a motion on the floor, so we need to clear up that motion first before we move to another motion. Just let me know what you guys are doing, please.
So whoever made the motion to approve the entire amount would, according to Robert's rules, have to rescind their motion, so they're.
I second it, so whoever made the you take back the motion.
Take back?
Yeah,
Rescind,
Why are we taking it back?
Because
We're adjusting it?
because your motion was to pay it in full, and what I'm asking is to divide it, to have these certain bills separate, and that's only one of a few that I have, to separate,
It'd
to
probably
divide
be
certain
easier
bills for
to-
independent, consideration and vote.
probably be easier to withdraw the motion.
Okay.
Withdraw my second, and you just pull the bills that you want.
Okay.
So would you be willing to withdraw your motion, trustee Shay?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
and I
have a
withdraw my
question, of
second.
course. Did
Okay.
you
And is
review
there
this
an
with
all in favor?
Andrew at all? Did he?
Yes. He
And he
confirmed,
said that.
he
sent
confirmed
him
that
through my
this is,
mistake?
that this is a mistake, yes.
Okay.
The other thing is,
The question I have is,
Oh.
why didn't they just come to my office and have this changed earlier? We were here at 4 o'clock.
yeah, he's obviously not here. I did speak with him on the phone as soon as I noticed it, of course, like I said, and here comes the gripe about only getting this information the Monday before the meeting and how much work we have to do auditing hundreds of thousands of dollars in bills, in 2 days. And all of the investigation, for lack of a better word, that goes along with that. But I did notify him as soon as I became aware, and he did apparently just at some point today make an amendment changing this document. So I just need to verify that, first of all, we need to verify that the bill that is in the, that is.
In the road and bridge fund.
Yes,
I have
and that
it
the
there.
amount for the warrant is
Do you know where
correct.
it's at?
Do you have a total? Were you
Uh,
supplied with a total?
He
all of them?
said that he had provided this to, I know that he sent out an email today, but if it's not actually in here, then we'll just have to pull the bill
I did
altogether.
receive an email this afternoon
Fall
from
out.
him.
They're all small ones. Fall out. No, check 'em.
Well, who's getting reimbursed?
Andre Horoff.
Mhm. There was
The
an
other
email
reason
sent this
why I
afternoon.
like, Oh, sorry to interrupt,
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, it's just, I saw the email
Okay.
regarding it this afternoon. I want to say you were on it,
Okay,
that we were all on it, actually.
okay.
Included you.
I didn't get it.
But it might have been after business hour, I'm not sure what time it was sent, so that's why I just want to make sure.
Well, the only thing that I would like is if, you know, if it's an individual that can reimburse, they want to wait a whole month. You know, get the, employee.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not here to,
Explain.
so if he was here, we wouldn't have this problem. Pardon my, there are a lot of forms here to go through, so. I'm trying to remember where in the stack they were.
I thought it had something to do with the credit card, not the,
That's different.
oh, that's a different?
That's the same issue. Well, that's you're right. That is a separate issue, but similar in the sense that it is for a separate reimbursement, which I will address next.
Well, it's not like this is a, passing bills is a beautiful thing, you know, it's.
There, those are the kind of, only one.
Yeah, that's for a covert, a covert refund, that's not for the reimbursement request.
Here's as though you have 4 or 5 of them, and I don't remember when I went through them, that there was 4 or 5 or something like that.
Well, there are actually 3, by mistake, there was entered 9 in the bills. So I verified with Pam that it was not, you know, mistakenly, the amount was not mistakenly entered 3 times, she confirmed that. But I just want to make sure that this very last one Pam was able to get a hold of, because otherwise we do need to change the amount on the warrant. Or we need to completely withdraw the entire bill and take the entire bill amount off the warrant. Okay, so the incorrect one that I'm about to address is in here. I just have that on top just so for, yeah, I'm gonna address that next. There's a second one that's in there. And of course, it's the last one. So yes, I will just set that on top just for reference so that it's not misplaced. What he is requesting is a reimbursement for $137.25. This is actually, there were 2 entries of this with separate highlights. The problem, and I have no issues at all reimbursing the items which were paid for by his personal credit card. However, there were no receipts issued. Normally, it's customary and very common and required practice to turn in a receipt for reimbursement. There were no receipts, and so I request that that be separated. Make a motion to pull that from the stack of bills.
Just for 137.35.
Right, 25, 137.25.
Just that one or all 3? You want to?
Well, I'm gonna do it
You can take the whole
individually.
sum if you'd like, and in one thing.
Well, I'm gonna do it individually because that way you can.
Okay.
Because there are several in the road and bridge that you may that you may want
All
to
right,
approve
so
or
we're
not.
making a motion to.
To remove $137.25
Is
until such time as if there is no invoice number, it's I guess that we could refer to it as, Andre Horoff trip report reimbursement request.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna get a motion and a second for each one of these and
Yes.
vote on each one separately?
Yes.
Yes, because it's possible that
Okay, tell me exactly what your motion is, please.
my motion is to remove for payment
Reimbursement of,
reimbursement to Andre Horoff dated 29 August 2018 in the amount of $137.25.
okay. Until? You speak to
Until
Mr.
such
Gessler?
time as receipts are provided in accordance with customary procedure.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Any more discussion? Or is that enough for that one?
Enough, I think.
Okay, Victor,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Lutzo.
Okay, next, so I'm not sure what you want me to do with this. I
Well,
want
you
to
have a
do
bunch
this
of
separate
these,
from-
but you're.
Yes, I'm gonna move on to the next one. I'm just setting that temporarily until I'm instructed what to do with that original bill. The next one is okay, the next one is, should I make the motion first or?
Make the motion.
Okay, thank you. I'd make a motion to divide and vote, divide for separate consideration and vote the, reimbursement request for Andrew Gosser and Brian Provenzano dated 13 August 2018.
Okay,
In the amount, please.
There's not a total amount, but in the check register, it shows 600, hold on. Nope. I'm sorry, it's not written on here.
Yeah, it's not.
The check register is written as $697.26 for Ryan Provenzano. And identical for Andrew Gosser.
697.26.
$697.26. So on this one, request for reimbursement, the total, you have the calculator, $697.26 times 2.
1394.52. Did you get that?
I
didn't get to.
Chuck, it's a calculator.
was trying to do that. 1394. 40. So yeah,
52?
52.
54. Okay. I thought one was 27, one was 26, but I must. Okay, 52.
Well, they're identical, they're listed as identical here.
And what are these for?
It says travel to Peoria,
Oh, okay.
travel from Peoria, per diem for food Sunday, which I don't have an issue with by themselves. But the problem is they've also included $472.65 for each person. However, like the last one, two expenses for $472.65 each were already billed to a road district credit card, so therefore they're not eligible for reimbursement. And I did contact Andrew, and he did admit that that was an error, but unfortunately, it did not, his email with his amended bill or reimbursement request was not made in time to make it into the bill for the meeting tonight. So I'm manually asking that it be removed.
Typically, when you do it, I mean, I don't know, when I've done this in the past, we've had an expense report that you fill out. We don't have that, huh?
He's filled it out,
Yeah, along with
Algonquin Township Highway Department has
Right.
their own, tools here.
Okay, well, will we be able to take a total based on these and just deduct that from the
Yes.
total?
We're working on it, we're working on it.
We'll have a cumulative total. The only other thing that I noticed, which was just kind of
I'm sorry,
odd,
there
that I
was a
just
motion
want,
on the table.
oh, sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table, roll call.
Did anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay. You want to divide for separate consideration and vote for the reimbursement of this, or you want to pull that bill completely and not reimburse? I do want to make sure the wording's right because
Well, my first motion was to separate it for separate, to divide.
that's the
mo-
137.25. This motion is, you said you want to make a motion to divide for separate consideration and vote for reimbursement for Andrew and Ryan. That's what I have written down, Rachel. What would you like your motion to be? So that it's clear, because this sounds like we're pulling it to vote separately on this amount.
Okay, so,
Yes, the first motion that I made is to divide it. The second motion will be whether or not to approve it.
Okay, well, I've got it combined, so. You're making another motion now on top of that
Yeah,
motion?
you can't have one. on
You can't
top
have two motions on top of it. I need to have a second.
We need to vote.
What's your,
first to
well,
divide.
you said, no, you
Can I
said,
finish one sentence, please?
make your motion clear.
okay,
Make your motion clear. This is what happens every meeting. Make your motion clear, please. Lawrence, making a motion. What's your motion? Motion 2.
Can you please call this meeting to order?
It's order. Please give me the motion.
well,
I'm sorry, the chairman runs the meeting.
let's just clarify your motion. Please just repeat the motion and we'll leave it. Thank you.
Okay, let's start over. I would like to separate for separate consideration, discussion, and vote, which the request for reimbursement for Andrew Gosser and Ryan Provenzano dated 13 August 2018 in the amount of
Yeah, I don't have that,
1394.52.
1394.52.
thank you.
why do we need to have separate consideration? Like, all right, let's just have a second, I'll
Okay,
second.
then I'll rescind that motion and I will make a motion to pull that bill from
Entirely.
all consideration altogether at this meeting
Good idea.
in the amount of pre-stated $1,092.52.
$399.52.
I'll second
Thank you,
that. I'll
trustee
second that.
Victor.
You're welcome.
All right, let's second.
I'm making- Any more discussion?
No.
Okay, could I have a roll call on that?
Victor,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes,
Bledsoe,
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
okay.
Lastly, the last bill that I would like to make a motion to remove entirely for all consideration of payment at this meeting is a bill for Nordstrom. It appears to be a request for reimbursement for Ryan Provenzano. It's dated in the corner Tuesday, August 28th, 2018 at 9:05 p.m. for a total amount of $425.53.
Excuse me, Rachel, can you repeat that amount?
$425.53.
Thank you.
For a second, 1 second.
I'll second.
For discussion, the reason why I make a motion to make such motion is because This is a bill from Nordstrom. Actually, no, I didn't pull it because it's a bill from Nordstrom. If somebody wants to spend their clothing allowance at Saks Fifth Avenue, it's up to them. If somebody wants to spend it on Levi's 514 straight leg, tumbled rigid, regular and tall $60 jeans, and hiking boots for $150 that are not work boots, by the way, they are not steel toe boots. And 18 pairs of Nike socks, that's their prerogative. However, we do not have a policy. I do not believe that this is in accordance with current policy. In fact, as far as my recollection serves, there is a $150 total reimbursement for work boots, which are OSHA compliant, which are steel toe would be a hallmark of that. These hiking boots not meeting that qualification. If somebody wants to spend $60 on, or $425 on 3 pairs of jeans, a pair of shoes, and some socks, that's their prerogative. But lastly, and most importantly, the reason why this needs to be pulled is because there is no policy here. Andrew Gosser is not here to confirm a policy which shows any kind of policy which would allow such a high $425.53 for such an expenditure for a clothing allowance policy at all.
So do we, any other discussion on that? No?
I think that going to Nordstrom is a mistake also. I'd have to see whether it's just a flat many places just have a flat clothing allowance. And they expect it's for work-related material.
Okay. So I don't think we have any more discussion, right?
I just want to
I
make it
agree.
clear that I just want to make it very clear that this isn't being pulled because of where he shopped. It's not being pulled because of what he bought. The main reason, while I may disagree with where he shopped and what he bought, the main reason why this is being pulled and my motion for it to be pulled is because it exceeds what I believe to be the policy. And without Andrew Gosser here to confirm that policy, I can't approve it.
So did anyone do the, well, we gotta vote on this first, right? Okay.
Victor, any more discussion?
Roll call, please.
Victor,
Yes.
Lawrence,
Yes,
Shay,
Yes,
Lutzer,
Yes. Okay. Did anyone add that up? I think.
I got $1,957.30, but then I got on an old guy. Too long.
pass the calculator to this old guy.
I had 1957.58. But I'm a
We
real
got
young guy.
25 cents from up above. Well, there's the numbers I have.
I have 1957.30. Let me try it again.
I got a quarter here, I can just leave on the table.
I guess I'm not as old as I thought.
7, 11.
What
I
was
have
the last?
1957.30,
And
That's what I
you
have.
said the last one was 13, 14, what was it?
1394.52.
3214.
Melissa, I got what you got.
I have
Oh
1957.
my gosh, all these numbers.
Okay. So
It's
143 minus,
1957.30.
so what's the total expenditure?
I usually. That is all that I have to remove. I have already,
So now we're gonna go back to the original.
No, Karen's
Road
gonna,
and bridge fund and deduct that much.
yeah, Karen's gonna deduct it, she's doing it right now. I appreciate it.
Okay, I got 141,065. Oh, hang on. I don't have a calculator, hang on. Good old fashioned math.
That was pulled, I'm gonna pull in Nordstrom and you can tell me what to do with
Do
them.
you need a calculator?
30. No, I got this.
Just put them in the
I mean,
phone.
it's like, I got
In
one.
the front.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can you check it for me?
Yeah, can we rattle off the numbers?
All right. It's 143,022.13,
143,022.13.
143.02, I'm sorry, 143,022.13
Last,
minus 1957.30.
1957.30. Should be 141,064.83.
Got it. Yay. Okay. 141,064.83.
No, just the last one.
Okay. So,
okay.
all right,
The
so,
motion I will make is to approve the road and bridge fund expenditure report at that dollar amount.
141,064.83.
Second,
Okay. Any discussion? I don't think so, but roll call.
Lawrence seconded.
yes,
Lawrence,
yes,
Victor,
Yes,
Shay,
Yes,
Wetzel.
Yes.
Okay.
When I pass this one out, could everyone also initial by the number change as well, please?
yes.
Well, we have, bring the community. Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for the equipment and building for $213,285.16. Can I get a motion, okay? Trustee Shay, motion. Second? Can I get a
One second.
Okay, great. Any discussion?
Victor,
Yes.
Shay, Lawrence,
yes.
Wetzel.
Yes. Okay. We're at the fun time here. We would entertain, I believe, yes. Anybody would like to speak for 3 minutes? Mr. Skinner?
I'd like to thank the clerk for recording these meetings. It's a great value to the public. However, talking about transparency, not having a complete packet is not transparent. If my little village of Lakewood with 4,000 people can do, this township with 88,000 people can do. Thirdly, if you don't have time as trustees to get through the packet, why don't you just postpone the meeting for 1 week, back on the third week, of the month instead of the second week? And keep the same building.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
Okay. Adopt an intergovernmental agreement between Algonquin Township and Algonquin Township Road District for the lease of facilities located here. I got a motion to table. Don't have it ready.
I'll make a motion, we table it on your request.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to make a discussion. I feel that this was a big waste of time that we had our special meeting a couple weeks ago regarding this. This was supposed to be handled a couple weeks ago, and now again, we're tabling this. When is this IGA going to be ready?
I wish I could answer that better. I tell you, the people in my office worked hard. to get
It's just,
it.
it's wasting all of our
Everybody's
time, and we
time.
really would like this agreement to move forward.
But my comment, I feel the same way, and
Yeah,
it's very stressful.
and we wasted away from our families and other commitments we had to be at a special meeting for something that wasn't ready or signed.
But that can be signed until we pass it, but we had an agreement and then.
Okay, also, when this does get officially ready, can we make sure that Andrew Gasser agrees to be upstairs in his office, signing it right after? So that we're not
Or present
waiting.
for, at least present for the
At least
meeting?
present for the meeting at the very least. But he did state that he doesn't want to be at any of the meetings, but he would wait in his office and sign it following our approval.
I can only ask.
Okay.
That's all I can do, I can't.
I would also just like to add to discussion, to express my disapproval. You know, we, like trustee Victor said, we, at the request, at the expressed urgency
Mhm.
of Commissioner Gasser, we as a board held a special meeting. And for the public, we trustees are not paid any extra to come in for special meetings. This was all done at Commissioner Gasser's request and at the expression of his urgency to get this done at the expense or potential expense of losing vital services that many of the people in our constituents use. And so we heeded his warnings and at his request, held a special meeting within 2 days to approve a contract which he gave us every indication he had agreed to and would agree to. And then at the last minute, did not show up to that meeting, and not only did not show up to that meeting, but then also made changes to it and acted like it was no big deal. Now, each one of us, like you said, took time out of our lives to come to that meeting. We paid an attorney to come and show up. We also had, I believe, a sheriff present at your request. And I am disappointed. I will share my disappointment at that as well. So while, you know, at the very least, like I mentioned independently earlier, at the very least, this isn't a special meeting and we're having this meeting anyway, but it is disappointing yet again to have this contract, you know, something that has been expressed to us and would be agreed to and has been amended several times at Commissioner Gasser's request, is still not agreed to.
Okay.
Despite his urgency.
I guess we just need a voice vote to say that we're tabling it, right? We have a motion. Voice.
Can I actually make one more? I just want to make sure that, you know, since this agreement has not been, or since this intergovernmental agreement has not been agreed to and signed by Gasser as of yet, and yourself, I just want to make sure that the senior bus transportation and the recycling is still continuing.
I've seen no indication that it was not.
Okay, so I just want to make sure because I know that is in the
And then
IGA.
we will start doing that.
I don't want us, you know, anybody to feel like they're not going to be getting any services because he did say this was urgent, that we had this agreement, and I don't want anything taken away from the community.
No, and I mean, I can't speak for the commissioner, okay, but I've seen nothing from, at our office that we're gonna have that, and,
Okay,
and the bills that we passed earlier reflected the new agreement. So in there, in the bills,
okay,
of the cost sharing that we agreed on and all that stuff.
Okay.
So he did honor paying rent this month and all those things, but I mean, you know, I hope that it continues.
I was just gonna say, we've had all kinds of comments about the position, when in fact, the biggest part of the problem is the person.
All right, so we just need voice vote, I believe, right, to table this, right? All in favor of tabling this right now?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right,
The hard part about it, usually you have to table it, I think, to a date certain.
To the next meeting.
yeah, well,
Next meeting.
I'll put it on the next meeting.
Do we need to rescind the motion and restate it?
For the record, I would recommend that.
Okay, is there a motion? Who made the motion?
Shay,
Shay?
can send it, that's no problem.
Okay?
So when's the next meeting? We'll put down, we can always.
For that, but who seconded the motion?
Melissa.
Would you please rescind that?
I'll resend my,
And then I'd like to entertain a motion to put this intergovernmental agreement, on the, October, I was going through the ones, October, regular meeting for.
I reluctantly make the motion to table the adoption of an intergovernmental agreement between Algonquin Township and the Algonquin Township Road District for lease of facilities at 3702 Northwest Highway, Crystal Lake, Illinois, until the next regularly scheduled board meeting in October.
I will second that. And can I have some, no discussion, I don't believe, right? Can I just get a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Resolution for discussion for referendum regarding Algonquin Township Road District. If I'm correct, this is something that trustee Lawrence put on, made a motion at the last meeting.
In July.
Okay, in July.
So-
We know that we can't put something on the ballot for November,
Right.
but that because there was no second, you can put this.
Well, according to Robert's rules, when a motion is not seconded, it's if it never happened, which means it can be brought again at any time. And until such time as it is seconded and voted upon. So I brought it again. In your packets, you'll see my resolution, which I authored. And which is fairly straightforward. If anybody would like a copy, I would be happy to provide you with one. The board already had one in their packets. But mainly the real purpose, I would just like to discuss this. I don't expect any action. The reason why I wanted this on the agenda today is because I have been hearing the overwhelming message that I have been hearing from constituents and basically just everyone, everywhere, even in the grocery store, literally, is that why won't you guys at least discuss it? And maybe we can discuss it, but there's nothing preventing us from discussing anything. So I would just like to discuss it. I put the resolution in there so that, it's something that's, it's ready to go, that I'm ready to go with it. And I think that people deserve to know, to have some discussion. I do also want to, I do realize that Trustee Chapman had a lot to say about this issue and really wanted to participate in this conversation, but he, due to the circumstances beyond his control, emergency circumstances beyond his control, he's not able to be here tonight. But I did want to just bring it up again for discussion. I believe that, I took an informal poll, just a personal poll of almost 170 people, not just friends, we're talking people who I don't even know, from all over the township, from Lake in the Hills, Algonquin, from Fox River Grove, Cary, Crystal Lake, from all over this township. And 92%, the overwhelming majority of people, whether pro or against road district abolition, they want to vote. They want to vote yes, or they want to vote no. And the other reason why, and I think that a lot of people don't understand, is that if this goes to ballot, it would not be on the general election, because that period for submitting a public question for certified, to the election authority, the county clerk, has passed. So it would not appear until the next general or consolidated election, which would be in 2019. So that said, I still think that people should vote, whether you are pro, and this is the amazing thing that I found in my informal, completely unscientific polling, is that even people who are against the abolition of the road district still want to vote. And the people who we have the Illinois legislature, the Illinois Congress, and the Illinois governor all saw fit to provide a pathway for the electors of this township to vote on this specific issue. And who are we to to say that they are wrong? That's my first point. My second point is that even if we do pass the resolution to allow people to vote, which I believe should be their constitutional right, even in the Declaration of Independence, it states in part that the governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed, and it is the right of the people, to alter or abolish it. And by denying them that right, I just don't feel right about it. Whatever the outcome is, I believe that it should be the voters' decision. And according to my informal polling, the overwhelming majority supports voting. Whether yes or no, it doesn't matter. They want to vote. And I believe that they're perfectly capable of making that decision. And lastly, the people who, I think, like I previously said before, the motives of anyone trying to deny the people their vote on this issue should be carefully questioned. And I believe that the people are smart enough to vote.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone else to discuss it?
I was going to say, see, one of the biggest mistakes is in Rachel's lack of knowledge of government. When you put
Excuse me, that's an opinion, point of
All
order.
right.
Wait, it's my turn. I didn't butt in on yours. You always butt in.
Hold on a second. You can't state an opinion about my lack of knowledge.
Well, I'm going from your information. You're the one that put it out.
I have extensive knowledge.
You please correct your
Well,
statement to me.
when you put a resolution,
Please don't make any comments about your opinions of me. Thank you.
well, I didn't, if I did, it would be very disgusting. But, when you put a resolution, it requires
You
you
should
to
admit it.
make a motion, and then it gets second or nothing. If you'd have just done and put down a discussion of it, we would have been discussing it. I was just going to make a motion that we remove the resolution part and just say a discussion of it so we can discuss it.
Well, that's what you did do.
Well, but no, the rest of us didn't. And honestly, as long as it says a resolution, you don't normally discuss unless there's been a motion and a second.
Actually, we can discuss, and I'm sure that our attorney, is it Ms. Peason? Hessen? Sorry for the mispronunciation. I'm sure that you can confirm that discussion can take place at any time, whether or not something is on the agenda or not. Final action that requires an agenda item, correct?
It is final action that requires an agenda item in a motion and a second. However, the way it's stated here, I would have to agree with Mr. Shea that because it says resolution and discussion, there can be some misinterpretation of how it is stated.
Okay, well.
So what's your recommendation?
That, and this is maybe just for future, if it's just to be discussed, to just make it more clear on the agenda that it is just for discussion.
Okay, so we granted her some leeway. She made her statement. What's Dan Shea would like to make his statement.
I would like to as well.
All right, as long as it's open for discussion, like I said, the problem I have with this is it's so incomplete, the wording. It just says shall such and such and such. There's no nuts and bolts on how it would be done other than this, which is very, very poor in my mind. But what we're talking about here is we want the people to have the right to choose, to no longer have the right to choose. Does that sound sensible? But that's beside the point. The point we have here is we had years and years of success. Office when it's not the problem. The problem turns out to be a person or persons. And as I see it, let's give you a little anecdote. If you have a business and the person at the cash register continually cannot make change, you don't get rid of the cash register. You get rid of the person. And that's why I'm surprised that the people aren't up in arms because of all this what's been going on. It's just not, and people who don't understand government do not understand that a lot of this level of government is done with handshakes. And people take care of these things. It's as simple as that. It's not a case of all the different, trying to get everything down on paper. If you have a case where the police in Factory Grove are going to help the people in Cary with a emergency or a situation, they don't go get a government agreement. They go and help. And that's the way it always worked here. Things were taken care of because they had the people and the people could take care of it. Now that don't appear to be true anymore. That happens. It's the public that pays in the long run.
Okay, thank you. Trustee,
I'd like-
no, I think we're, Trustee Victor, please.
All right, well, I've actually done some research into this, and for one, Naperville Township, went ahead and tried this route, and now they are trying to go back on it. But there is no statute that once they approved this, that now they can go back on this consolidation. And, Naperville Township is actually, there are many people in Naperville in that community as well, and they're proving that this has been a huge mistake, that it will definitely lead to costs and be a disservice to the residents, that it will cost the taxpayers more money than it will save, and that there is no plan for anything for them to restore, and they're trying to restore their offices to back the way that they were before this. We are taking away the right for people to vote, because here's what is happening if they have the right to vote on this. They are giving the power to the next board to vote on who would be the next commissioner and on to run this. And when they give that power to the board, what happens if there are board members that are not serving the community in a way they're supposed to be served? And we can go run into the same problem with another person that is not qualified to do this job. So we are taking away the vote from the people, and that's what the people don't understand. I feel they're being tricked and lied to. And also, furthermore, at least 20 of the McHenry board members are also against this. They rushed a letter down to the state stating that they have no plan and that it will be way too expensive for them to take this on. And that is 20 board members. They would have to establish new banking, insurance, legal services, forming multi-township political organizations, all kinds of things. And they even were talking about equipment. Things simple, such as like equipment, what kind of equipment they would have to purchase. Okay, the employees, all of that. So the McHenry County Board is against this. Therefore, I am against this. I feel there is going to be some legislative changes that will be made, hopefully in the near future, that will put a stricter guidelines and stricter legislation on the highway commissioners. However, and even, and on, more oversight of the road district, but this is definitely not the way to do it.
All right.
Can I rebut?
I thought we were gonna have, ongoing discussions with Mr.
Well,
Chairman.
there's some false information been provided.
Well, I mean, I think, didn't we have enough discussion?
It'll literally take.
I'm sorry,
whoever
I never
wanted.
bought. Then it sort of has, I understood it, this was just why the board was expressing why they were not taking on this referendum and voting on the motion. Any further action at this point,
Okay,
we would want.
all right, let's move on to the next topic, and obviously you'll run the forum so we can discuss things.
Well, we just had some false information given.
Well, you know what, we're gonna meet.
The 20 board members
You know what, please, out of order, your attorney ruling.
was not pertaining to this bill, so that's something else to
Okay.
talk to you about after the meeting.
All right.
You're miscompleting two
Can we
different
move
laws.
on, please? Thank you.
I don't know how, are you censuring me? Are you telling me
I'm
I
not
can't
censoring
speak?
anybody. I'm not trying to muzzle anybody. I gave you extra consideration to talk.
And
And
so,
now-
so now I can't respond?
Respond, we just had a discussion. You made your opinion. I mean, why?
No, I didn't make an opinion. I'm
Everyone has an
answering.
opinion.
Okay, so I made my argument, but I feel like when I present something, I should be able to respond to something.
We just heard from our attorney who said that we carried the discussion as further as we should go. I mean, I don't wanna, I don't like muzzling people. I love giving people all the chance they can do.
So then
talk,
what is 1 minute of
We're-
correction
We're gonna
to
move on
false
to the
information?
Greenest Region Compact update, okay?
So you're gonna allow false information to go forward and go on the record on in your meeting that you're chairing?
Okay, Greenest
Yes.
Region Compact update. As you know, Dave Chapman had asked to have this on the agenda. And, I spoke with him this afternoon. As you know, he's, interested in this topic, Greenest Region Corps, to help, Green Region communities, projects, Green Region Compact. And, Township is participating in that, and, he just wanted to let everyone know that there are 8 pilot communities who share the cost of a full-time AmeriCorps volunteer for a year. There are 8 positions open for college graduates to serve and host the GRC communities. The position pays a modest living allowance, but an additional educational award is provided by AmeriCorps, and at the completion of 17 hours of service. So he just wanted to let everyone know that's watching in Homeland, that, these jobs are available for college graduates, and they're on the clerk's website.
I'm gonna put those on. We haven't gotten those up yet.
Okay.
They will be.
Okay, they'll be on the clerk's
Yep.
website, so that, that anyone who would like to apply to this, can do so, or they can also go to, the real long website, but the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus would probably get you close to that as well.
We can also have a link on the homepage.
Okay, thank you. So he's not here today. I don't know if anyone can do that. I don't really think we need to, but, okay. Is there any, reason to go into any old business?
Was
Okay,
there public comment?
yeah, we had it.
When,
Beginning of the meeting.
We had it. We had, Mr. Kalskill speak?
Yeah.
Okay, motion to adjourn the meeting? Oh, yes, someone?
No, make a motion.
I actually have something I'd like to say before we adjourn.
Okay,
so are we reinstating public comment?
no. You trust me, you ask them
Other business.
other business.
Other business,
Okay.
other business, I would just like to thank the road district and the township for, there's going to be a really big event, Cary Main Street Fest, coming up this Saturday and Sunday, in downtown Cary, and they are using, a lot of chairs, tables, and tents, and I appreciate, the work on that, and then being able to, the chamber being able to use those items for this big event.
We have a motion to adjourn?
Actually, if she was allowed to speak, I'd like permission to speak as well.
What?
Thank you. The purpose, with regards to, the continued motion, or I'm sorry, the continued discussion regarding the referendum regarding the Algonquin Township Road District. The point is to provide oversight, and, the problem is not the
I'm sorry, the
person, as it
discussion.
was stated.
No.
We've already discussed this. I mean, do you have another topic that you wanted to bring up?
Yes. It was not discussed before.
What was that?
That the problem is not the person. The Congress, the House of Representatives, and the governor did not pass legislation to get rid of a person.
All right.
They did it to provide oversight, and the 20 board members who wrote a letter was for House Bill 4637, not
You already-
this law.
You already talked about this.
That's all.
Okay, good, thank you. Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gal. Thanks.
Very much appreciated.
Yo, Cal,